Hi Lee, thank you very much for joining us. If you'd
You're
like to tell us a
welcome.
little bit about yourself.
Yeah, my name's Lee Haslam. 46 years old from Doncaster, and I'm DJ, producer, general manager at Tidy Trax, and I also am a director of my own artist management company called Locus.
Brilliant, thank you very much. So, how did you come across Storm?
Wow, long time ago when I was obviously DJ and producer at Tidy Trax, I was actually a resident at Storm in the early days, so I used to play there pretty much every month. So yeah, it was one of the best events in the country at the time, and obviously still is.
Brilliant. So what do you expect from this event now with the effects of COVID on our society?
I expect nothing less than what normally comes from a Storm party, which is pretty much mayhem. But yeah, I mean, obviously we live in a very different world now. The events that I've been at in the last 2 or 3 months have been great, but the impact is there for everyone to see. With lots of promoters reporting that at least 20 to 30 people of percent of people not actually showing up for gigs and stuff. So, I think that's more of a hangover than anything else. So, come the end of October, I'm sure everyone will be absolutely gagging to go out and have a good old Halloween knees up.
Yeah, absolutely. Because especially since July and obviously everything opening up, I think at first it was a little bit quiet, but now
Yeah.
people are starting to get back into the
Yeah, and
confidence
I
of
think
doing
there's
things.
there's been a lot of like events moving from 2 years ago, and people, believe it or not, people actually forget that they've got tickets for things, and it's like obviously everyone came out the traps at the same time, so there was a lot of competition and stuff. But now it seems that the dust has kind of settled a bit more now, and
Yeah.
people have been out and tested the water and understand it a bit more, and obviously the fact that people don't have to do COVID passports and things like that does have an effect on people. Some people are cool with it, some people aren't, and that's just the way
Yeah.
it is.
So what inspired your DJing career?
Bizarrely, I used to be a nursery school teacher. Um,
Okay.
so I was actually only the second male nursery school teacher to ever qualify in the UK back in 1992,
Oh
I
my
think it was.
gosh.
So I was actually a teacher for 4 years, and my plan was to teach for a few years and then do my PGCE and get my degree. But then, because I was teaching, I used to get tonsillitis quite a lot. So, and I end up having quite a lot of time off work. So in the end, my doctor said, "Enough's enough. You're going to have them taken out at 22 years old." So I
Gosh.
had them taken out, and obviously when you have them taken out at that age, it's not pretty. I had to take 4 weeks off work. So I thought, what can I do with my time? So I bought myself some decks and taught myself how to mix in a couple of weeks. And my girlfriend at the time, actually, unbeknown to me, gave a tape, because that's how long ago it was, of me playing to a local promoter. He heard it, loved it, got my first gig, and it basically snowballed from there. Really,
Oh my
I
gosh.
played in my hometown for a good couple of years, cut my teeth that way, and that's when I met Andy Pickles, who's obviously one of the Tidy Boys. He actually, a good friend of mine who sadly took his own life last year, introduced me to him, and we became good friends. And he heard me play and said, "Do you want to come and work for us at Tidy?" And that's how it all started, really.
That's brilliant. That's kind of like a thing you've got to thank your tonsils for.
Well,
'Cause now you've got
exactly.
all this.
There's not many people that can do that, I guess.
Yeah. What is like the best place that your career has taken you?
Oh gosh, there's been so many. I mean, I'm very, very fortunate in the sense that I've been able to travel the world, to South Africa and New Zealand and Australia and Russia and Tokyo and everywhere in between. So it's very hard to pick, excuse me, one highlight really. They're all different for different
Yeah.
reasons, I guess. I mean, the week I played at Magna was probably right up there when I did my Radio One Essential mix as well. So there's been so many. I've been really, really fortunate in that sense.
That's brilliant. Have you got any upcoming projects that you're quite excited for?
Well, I mean, really, I mean, I took a back seat on DJing quite some time ago to focus on my own management company, which I mentioned earlier, I still do today. Over lockdown, I kind of got back involved with Tidy Tracks a bit more, to the point where I was just managing a few projects for them over lockdown, and then by the end of lockdown, I was their general manager. So now I'm kind of involved in a lot of different projects, from looking after my own artists to obviously looking after the label. So in terms of me personally, I'd like to get back in the studio in the next 6 to 12 months. When that will be, I have no idea because I'm just that busy at the minute. My main focus is obviously the label and making sure that the Hard House fraternity have another 25 years of tidy, hopefully.
Yeah. Do you prefer the kind of managerial side of
Yeah, I mean,
DJing?
yeah, I do. I do at this age, at 46 years old. I do. I miss the physicality of DJing. I don't miss everything that goes with it. I actually get more of a buzz off helping other people now and
Yeah.
giving them the knowledge and that I've learnt over the last 25 years to help up and coming artists become better artists because they're the ones that live and breathe it. They're the ones that want to be out every single weekend and partying like I did
Yeah.
20 years ago. Now it's a different ball game. So yeah, I actually get much more of a buzz now of helping other people and seeing them succeed.
Absolutely. What's the craziest thing that you've done throughout your whole career?
Oh God, craziest. I wasn't really known for my craziest things, to be honest. No stage diving or anything like that. So there's I can't think of anything off the top of my head, I'm afraid. So that's a bit of a boring answer, I'm afraid.
Oh
So,
no, no, don't worry. Have you like who are you quite excited to see at the Storm event?
well, it's just those types of events are a bit like a weekender, really, when you get to see people that you haven't seen for so long. So it's obviously a good opportunity for me to see the guys that we look after. So Andy Farley, Anne Savage, those guys. Sam Townend, I see pretty much every day because I work with him. But yeah, there's Lisa and obviously everyone else that's going to be there. So it's a good time to have a catch up and put the world to rights and
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
and just have a like I say, a good party really.
Have you got any advice that you want to give to young and upcoming artists?
There's loads. It's probably a good time to do a bit of a plug actually. I mean, obviously
Go
part of
ahead.
what Tidy do is something called Tidy Pro, which is effectively an online learning platform for people that want to learn how to make music, budding producers. But we're also doing a lot of tutorials for people like up and coming artists who want to get into the industry. And we're doing a course. Well, I'm doing a course in December, which is aimed at artist management. So it's all about what you need to learn about being an up and coming producer. So things like how to develop your own brand, when to get a DJ agent and a manager, if you're signing music to labels, what to look for. It's a bit of a masterclass really on the
Yeah.
fundamentals of what you should know if you want to get into the industry, because a lot of artists do come into this world that we live in, this music industry, and haven't got a clue.
Yeah, absolutely.
They'll sign contracts that they haven't got a clue what they're signing, and they don't understand how they can make money out of the music and so on and so forth. So I'm doing a 2-hour webinar in December all about the fundamental things that you need to know as an artist getting into the music industry. So if anyone is interested in that, then that's the place to go. You just go to tidypro.co.uk.
That's brilliant. I think that's such a good thing to offer as well because, like you said, there are a lot of younger people now, obviously, with social media and everything coming into play,
Mm,
people are learning about the music industry and everything about that a lot younger,
yeah,
and they
100%.
might not have the advice from like their
No,
parents they could get to
and
help
and
them.
yeah, and things happen a lot quicker now. Back in the day, it would take an artist several years to become, a really big established artist. These days, you could be headlining. I mean, there's acts in the tech and house world that are earning tens of thousands of pounds and playing in front of tens of thousands of people after only a year, just
Yeah,
because of one track that they've written has blown up. And these kids haven't got a clue. They don't know who they should trust, who they should listen to, what they need to do, what to look for in contracts, because unfortunately, there are some scrupulous people out there that will nail people to a max.
yeah.
And
And
I've
especially when
myself,
things happen overnight and
yeah,
someone blows up overnight and people are like, right, I need to get in quick, and they could put anything in that contract and people
yeah.
wouldn't have a clue.
I've had it recently where we've had to go to litigation with one of the acts that we signed. We signed to our management company and then found out that he'd signed a contract before he signed with us that meant that he couldn't release on any other labels. And it's like, which
What?
is just
Yeah,
like, why, obviously he didn't read the contract, he just signed it because he was excited because it was his first ever release. But these types of things obviously happen quite frequently. And unless you've got somebody that's on your side that can help you or knows what to look for, it's very easy to get carried away with the excitement of it all. And trust me, I'm not one for poo-pooing that at all, but you've got to know what you're doing, because you can get yourself
Absolutely.
into a really sticky situation. So that's the whole idea of me doing the course, is to really obviously offer some advice to people so they do know what to look for in a contract, and
Yeah,
do know how to make money out of the music. Because there's lots of people that write music and think they just get royalties from a record label, but there's other ways of making money from music as well, through the songwriting and the publishing side and the radio play and everything else that goes with it, that people just, again, haven't got a clue about. So
absolutely. Is there anyone in particular that has like inspired you throughout your career or continues to inspire you?
um, probably my biggest inspiration from the very beginning was always Tony DeVee. He was my biggest inspiration musically, and just how he was as a person, as an artist. The fact that he never really conformed, he just did what he wanted to do, and I really respect that. I think, going back to your earlier question, I think in terms of giving somebody advice, my advice would be is to be yourself,
Yeah,
and to not copy what other people are doing just because that's what they do. Being an artist is being an individual. When I started off in my career, because I worked for Tidy Tracks, it was everyone expected me to make hard house, and I didn't. My love was always trance, so the harder trance sound wasn't really that popular, really, to begin with. But then artists like myself and Guyver and people like that came along, and obviously the scene grew. So it's very easy just to do what everybody else does because that's the in trend thing to do.
yeah,
But it's not going to give you longevity. You have to believe in what you do. You have to love what you do for it to be a career, effectively. So, yeah, just really hone down on what it is that you want to be as an artist, and really be yourself, and be unique, be innovative. Don't be afraid to try things.
brilliant. Well, thank you very much for joining us, Lee, and answering the questions.
No problem at all. It's been a
And we're
pleasure.
very excited to see you at Storm.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.